It will be a Black Friday unlike any other in memory. How stores are preparing for the biggest day of the year when they don't really know what to expect. Plus, adapting traditions. How San Diegans have been changing their plans this year to try to celebrate Thanksgiving safely. And a mother thankful she got to spend the day with her baby while she was still dealing with the after effects of COVID. Why she's still working to recover many months later.
ABC 10 News at 6 starts now.
For many San Diegans, dinner is over and shopping has begun. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining us. I'm Lindsay Pena. While Black Friday is officially underway, no one is really sure what to expect during the pandemic. Every year at this time, we pay a visit to the Best Buy in Mission Valley. That's where ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo is. And Laura, you can already tell us things are different this year.
Lindsay, it's just me here. Best Buy isn't open today. The retailers have decided to open tomorrow instead because of the COVID-19 pandemic. You can see behind me, they have everything set up for a line, but that won't happen until tomorrow. Last year, there was a long line, even though it was raining. Many retailers started offering their Black Friday deals this year several days ago, with many of them being online offers. Now, earlier, there was one person in line. He was here with his service dog, hoping to get a good deal tomorrow.
We decided to, come over here to Best Buy. We're looking to get a PlayStation 5. Select stores will be getting a limited stock, so we're hoping, they might have it.
Now, that guy told me that he was going to go for a walk with his dog and come back here a little later since he was the only one in line. Now, within the last hour or so, we have seen some Best Buy employees. They have been heading into the store. They told us they will be working through the night. But again, Best Buy doesn't open until tomorrow at 5 in the morning. Reporting live from Mission Valley, Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Laura. It hasn't looked like a typical holiday today at Lindbergh Field. This is what the airport looked like when we were there at about 7 this morning. Among those traveling, we saw lots of masks and people trying to social distance. AAA says they expect 4 million Americans to travel this Thanksgiving. About 270,000 of those people are expected to fly. We spoke to a couple who was heading home to Reno after visiting family in San Diego. They told us they feel comfortable flying during the pandemic.
We had an early Thanksgiving.
Was that nice?
Oh, it was excellent. Yeah, it was a perfect time to travel. And Southwest has their game plan down and smooth sailing. Yeah, definitely.
Delays haven't been a problem today. There was one cancellation. Airport officials still recommend you check for changes before heading to your flight. Now to ABC 10 News Pinpoint weather. Wind is about to start kicking up, especially out in the East County, and that could lead to fire danger and power shutoffs. Weathercaster Jennifer De La Cruz joins us live. Jen, parts of the county will go under a red flag warning tonight.
Yeah, that's right, Lindsay. Just a couple hours until that goes into effect, and it's going to take us through Saturday morning. So we will see gusty winds, especially for East County, over the next several days, increasing our fire danger. Valleys and mountains will be under this red flag warning through 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Those winds out of the northeast. This is a moderate Santa Ana wind event between 20 to 30 miles per hour for sustained winds, gusting though at times up to 50 miles per hour. The other problem here is humidity is going to be very dry, plummeting to just 10 to 15% over the next 2 days. We're already seeing some of those offshore winds in places like Julian and Alpine and Mount Laguna as well, where you see those red arrows indicating those winds out of the east. And even in Carlsbad, so as far west as our coastline, we're starting to see these winds pushing in, and they will be peaking overnight. As of for our temperatures, nice and comfortable, but they will be warming up as well. Lots of sunshine as we head into tomorrow, but it is going to get warmer out there. I'm breaking down those winds hour by hour coming up in your 7-day forecast.
All right, thanks, Jen. You'll be able to track conditions from your mobile device thanks to the ABC 10 News app. It is free. Just search 10 News in your app store. Crews are investigating what they call a suspicious series of fires in Redwood Village. 3 separate fires broke out between Streamview Drive and University Avenue. This was shortly before 1 this afternoon. They joined together and began to burn right up to some homes. San Diego Fire called in one of their helicopters to drop water on the flames. About an acre burned. Thankfully, no homes were damaged and no one was hurt. A woman is in police custody accused of setting a fire by a school playground. The ABC 10 News breaking news tracker was there this morning when the suspected arsonist was brought to a police car. The fire was in some trees and brush at the playground for Central Elementary in City Heights. Firefighters got to it quickly. There was no damage to the school or playground. The Fern Street Circus was keeping some of its props there, but they didn't appear damaged either. Giving out Thanksgiving meals is something the Salvation Army knows is needed now more than ever. The organization has held large family-style gatherings inside Golden Hall for the past 3 decades. But because of COVID-19 restrictions, the Salvation Army had to come up with a new idea for the event this year. So it settled on to-go kits. Today, volunteers passed out dozens of kits served with turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and of course, pumpkin pie.
You're going to have a lot of more people that don't have somewhere to go for a meal. And so I think if anything, this year is going to be a little bit more important than the previous ones.
The Salvation Army had 4 different locations across the city to pass out meals. Military families who currently have a loved one deployed were given some extra support this Thanksgiving. Lincoln Military Housing hosted a drive-through event today to give 75 families a Thanksgiving meal. Typically, it's held at Dave & Buster's, but organizers had to adapt this year due to the pandemic. Families also received pre-made care packages to ship off to their loved ones abroad.
We have families who are attached to the Nimitz, the Roosevelt, and a number of other ships here in San Diego. So this is just our way of supporting them.
Children didn't go home empty-handed either. Lincoln Military Housing gave each one a cookie decorating kit to take home. As COVID-19 cases continue to surge, many San Diegans are holding much smaller Thanksgiving celebrations than they're used to. ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer Kastner shows ways local families have had to adjust this year's beloved holiday tradition.
State health officials continue to urge Californians to avoid traveling out of state, but if they do, they're advised to self-quarantine for 14 days upon return.
Across San Diego this Thanksgiving evening, a quieter holiday for many.
So far, I think I might just be alone. I have like a across the street neighbor who I see a lot, so we might do something small.
Jeremy Schneider in Crown Point had planned to see friends like he did last year, but then canceled and is doing a Zoom visit instead.
It's pandemic Thanksgiving. It's going to be a weird one, but that's okay. It's just 1 year.
The Rhodes family in Rancho Bernardo typically hosts a Thanksgiving dinner with more than 60 people, including their 93-year-old grandmother. But this year, they opted for a much smaller gathering without their grandmother, telling ABC 10 News they don't want to put her or anyone else at risk of possible COVID-19 exposure. It has Laura Trujillo in tears.
It's very hard because she always wanted us all together. Christmas, every holiday, she cooked for us.
Our turkey is in a brine right here in the corner of the kitchen on the floor.
San Diego County health officials advise locals who still plan to get together to keep the dinner small, short, and safe, outdoors with no more than 3 households and no longer than 2 hours with masks and social distancing.
I'm really grateful that our families have been really respectful of boundaries and been extremely safe.
Brittany Welsh, along with her husband and child in LA, usually celebrate major holidays with family in San Diego, but not this year. They're staying positive and doing virtual visits instead.
We're probably going to be on the computer all day. I hope we have time to eat.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have asked people to stay home and not travel over this holiday to prevent further spread of COVID-19. Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
An iconic diner in North Park fighting for its life amid the pandemic is now stopping to give thanks. We spoke to the owner of Rudford's Restaurant on El Cajon Boulevard earlier this month. He ordered 75 full turkeys prior to the county moving back into the most restricted purple tier. He worried that no one would come to pick up Thanksgiving dinner under the new guidelines, but the community showed up and created a line around the diner.
We're inundated right now with to-go. So we have to turn the phones off and then we'll turn them back on once we catch up.
Rudford says it is grateful for the support it received today from people purchasing meals to go. Next week, Poway will consider replacing a beloved bowling alley with new housing and shopping. We visited the site along Poway Road several times over the last year. The Poway Fun Bowl closed over the summer. The businesses are closing next door at a popular strip mall made up of thrift stores. A developer wants to build more than 200 condos, more than 10,000 feet of commercial space, and some open space. Opponents say there are already other projects going up nearby and that traffic will become unbearable. The City Council will discuss that project Tuesday night. After a harrowing battle with the coronavirus, a local mom is spending her first Thanksgiving with her newborn son.
I am thankful that I'm here to be able to spend it with them.
Months after recovering from the virus, she's still not out of the woods. Why she's needed more than half dozen surgeries since leaving the hospital. Plus, one of the world's richest people investing in San Diego scientists working to solve the climate crisis. Why they think plants could be the answer to dramatically lower emissions in the atmosphere.